The top 2 floors are 21 and up. It also gave her son Cade a chance to work on his swing. He's on the golf team at his school, and a little less expensive than taking a family of 4 to the Super Bowl.
Go Niners!
It was so fun meeting the Fisher family. And yeah, you know, if you come out here, you're going to work hard, having fun with your kids, running around. So you might want to buy a little something for yourself too, moms. Look at all this cute, blingy, fun stuff. Isn't that adorable? Just, you know, because we want to look cute too for Super Bowl. Hey, you know, coming up too, we want to make sure everyone has a good time. So we're going to talk about how the NFL is making this experience accessible for all.
Well, meantime, the honors are pouring in for 49ers past and present. Christian McCaffrey won the league's Offensive Player of the Year award at last night's NFL honors. CMC led the league in rushing and had 21 total touchdowns this season. But the top award of the night went to Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. He is now the youngest two-time NFL MVP. Meantime, 49er linebacker Patrick Willis was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was part of a 7-man class of 2024 to be enshrined in Canton, Ohio this August. Willis played all 8 of his seasons in San Francisco and reached the Pro Bowl 7 times. Vern Glenn caught up with the Hall of Famer after the announcement.
Yeah, it's finally official, and you know, it's really it's a magical moment. When I look at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's a stage of its own. I call it the great ones, and now I get to be one of them for a lifetime, and so again, it's just beyond words.
Well, fans, players, and celebrities have been walking up and down the Strip all week long. Nicole Zalumis is at Radio Row in Vegas, and it's been called the premier place for stars this week to see and be seen.
Yes, yesterday I was at Radio Row and I was catching up with so many of my friends from the industry. I sat in with Brady Quinn and LeVar Arrington on their radio show. I caught up with Steve Weish from NFL Network, and he said nobody's talking about the 49ers, but someone that was talking about the 49ers was Mark Schlereth. You know, he used to get coached by Mike Shanahan when he was a member of the Broncos team, so he has known Christian McCaffrey since he was 2 years old. Take a listen. Radio Row is the spot to be this week if you're looking to grab an interview with an athlete, a celebrity, and just about every member of the media is on hand. Well, this week I was able to catch up with some old friends from my sports reporting days, like LeVar Arrington and Brady Quinn on their radio show.
Game commander, or like I look at it as field general.
And Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth, who knows this 49ers team well. In fact, so well, he's known Christian McCaffrey since he was in diapers.
Probably 2. I've known Christian, you know, and Ed was a psychopath and a great player. And
he says that lovingly.
Yeah, I do say that lovingly. So Ed was a complete psycho, and Christian is too. And from a preparation standpoint, as a matter of fact, I worked this camp when Christian was coming out of Stanford. And it was amazing. There was NFL talent all over this camp. And then there was Christian, and there was the rest of the guys. And some of these guys are in the league still to this day at the running back position. And it was like a varsity player working out next to JV players. Like his ability to do things, his athleticism. And it's more than athleticism, because he is absolutely committed. And he's just like his father when it comes to being psychotic about his preparation and being ready to play. So they're just a great family. The McCaffreys are a great family.
So Kyle, how old was he when you met him?
Probably 12. You know, he was a ball boy. As a matter of fact, Kyle Shanahan was the last person to hold a cord for the coach's headset in a Super Bowl. And I think the thing that sets them apart as coaches, because his dad had this as well, they will coach you up, they'll coach the coaches, but they will tell you what they're going to do, why they're going to do it, how they're going to do it, how it's going to affect you, and how it's going to help you guys win in this particular game. And he'll call it out. He'll say, hey, this is the play. They're going to give us this. We're going to do this. This will be a touchdown, watch. And it literally, I saw his dad do it when I played for him. I see him do it. I mean, they are on the spot with those things. And so it gives you, as a player, a ton of confidence. When he calls a play, man, I understand that this play is, designed and it's going to work.
Now, Schlereth also told me that Mike Shanahan has this decked out basement that he goes into and just watches hours and hours of film. So I asked him, do you think he's been, for the past 2 weeks, maybe hanging out in the basement and watching Chiefs film? And he said, absolutely.
Well, if you're staying here in the Bay Area this weekend, we've got you covered. Remember, CBS is your home for Super Bowl 58. You can catch the game on KPIX and streaming on Paramount+. Well, still ahead on CBS News Bay Area. Niner fans are making their way to Vegas ahead of the big game. Meet the team of volunteers who are there to welcome them when they touch down. And remember how the Niners roared back to beat the Lions? How the magic that happened at halftime was all part of the journey. And not everyone's able to enjoy football the same way. How one of the most popular events in Vegas is making sure everyone can enjoy the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 58. Fate can no longer wait. See, this is a predictory of our collective victory, reclaiming San Francisco's golden history. See, perseverance, it built the Bay, and it's the faithful who lead the way. Because if our bridges are golden, then our hearts are too. A team fighting for you, a city lighting for you. See, we're not just playing for survival. This is an SF revival.
We are staying dry as we head into the Super Bowl weekend. Plenty of things to do out here in the Bay, whether it's Chinese New Year in San Francisco or doing some barbecuing, of course, just in time for Super Bowl Sunday. We'll stay dry until late next week. And as I drop this and show you what it's looking like for us this afternoon, well, we're starting to see warmer temperatures here in the Bay Area. Upper 50s today, low 60s in the forecast tomorrow, and we'll continue to warm up into the mid 60s heading into next work week.
The faithful leaving for Las Vegas are packing their red and gold and their confidence, and some of them are flying in from thousands of miles away. Julia Goodrich reports from outside the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
The excitement's certainly growing, and you can definitely feel it in the air. We saw more of the faithful. They were flying in, and they traveled wearing their Niner gear. They came from as far away as Atlanta and even Australia.
Because we went to San Francisco a few years ago, when our son was 9, and we took him to Candlestick Park to a game.
Okay.
And we've been Niners ever since.
Are you going to that actual game itself?
Yes. That's why we're here.
Actually, we're season ticket holders, and we go to all the games. I grew up in Toronto and loved Joe Montana, loved the Niners growing up, and just stuck with them all through this. So we're very excited.
In 2019, we thought that was our year, so we're back, and this is it.
This is getting exciting. So much history. Max Darrow is here with me now. And Max, you were actually at the airport. You were talking to fans as they were arriving. And then what's interesting is there's volunteers greeting them. So what is that atmosphere like there?
Well, we know we're in Vegas. They're all about putting on a big show. Hospitality is a big thing in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And putting on the Super Bowl, that in itself is putting on a massive show.
Huge.
They've got volunteers who are all a part of the effort, and they're making sure everything goes smoothly from the get-go.
Like a sticker? Sure. All right.
Amy Ashbaugh is suited up for Super Bowl 58, giving her team of around 7,000 people her very best.
Yes, have a great time.
She's a volunteer with the Las Vegas Super Bowl Host Committee, taking the field at Harry Reid International Airport.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
The playbook is simple. Make visitors feel welcome and be there to answer any questions they might have, as it can be a little bit overwhelming getting around and knowing what's going on before, during, and after the Super Bowl.
We're the first face that they see when they get off that plane, and we want to make that impact right then.
Sometimes she's there to help with logistical questions, other times, fun suggestions. She says a lot of folks are asking about what free events are going on.
Because things can get a little pricey during Super Bowl, and again, they've spent a lot of money to get here, so sometimes it's nice just to get those things and take in those experiences.
This is Ashbaugh's third trip to the Super Bowl as a volunteer. She says so far, the energy here in Las Vegas is unlike any other experience.
There's definitely a different excitement because it's the first Super Bowl ever here in Las Vegas.
Ashbaugh is here from Phoenix, but Trevor Bobb, the SVP of Volunteer Operations, says the team is made up of people from all over the world.
I have met people that have flown in from Germany. I've met them from the UK. It's a global event. Everybody loves it. So we have volunteers from over 45 states representing us here in Las Vegas and over 20 countries.
Hosting the Super Bowl is no small undertaking. Heidi Hayes, who's with the airport, gives us some perspective.
We're expecting the busiest week ever here at Harry Reid International Airport. And if you think about that, Las Vegas hosts a lot of events, a lot of conventions. So we're used to hosting a lot of people, but this will be our busiest week we've ever seen.
Ashbaugh enjoys the energy and has enjoyed meeting fans.
The Niners fans, you'll walk by them and they'll just start yelling their chants. Bang, bang, and I walked by and said Niner gang, and they're like, yeah!
But really, it's about putting good out into the world.
Bringing joy to other people. When you leave, you just have this amazing feeling that you've been able to help someone or just make an impact in someone's life.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, woohoo!
Now that is a winning game plan.
So speaking of winning game plans, I did not ask her who she is going for. I figured she probably wanted to stay impartial there.
True.
But I did ask her if there were more Niners fans or Chiefs fans at the airport, and she said, hands down, more Niners fans.
I knew I liked her.
She was sweet.
Good answer. Good story. Thank you so much, Max.
Well, there's already a plan for crowd control during and after the Super Bowl. Freeway ramps in several streets in and around the Mission District will be blocked off starting at around 5. The same strategy was in place for the NFC Championship 2 weeks ago, but it didn't do much to hold back a sea of celebrating fans. Well, the 49ers advanced to the Super Bowl after an epic comeback win over the Detroit Lions. And the sound of that win wasn't just the roar of the faithful, but an iconic anthem played at halftime by a legendary Bay Area rock band with a slight twist. Sarah Donchie has the exclusive story.
January 28th, Levi Stadium was packed with fans and legends.
Let's go Faithfuls. We got this today. I think we're going to Vegas.
The Niners were set to win their 8th NFC championship, but...
Touchdown. Wow.
Something was off, way off.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Kind of felt helpless.
The first half ended with the Lions on top 24-7.
And it was like, what's happening out there?
Season ticket holder and musician Tom Hockridge and his songwriting buddy Keith Graves were stunned.
Everybody was pretty down at halftime. I was like, are they going to come back from this?
During halftime, while TV viewers heard an analysis, those in the stadium heard a call to action. On stage, the legendary rock band Journey formed more than 50 years ago in San Francisco.
I mean, we always wanted to play halftime or a Super Bowl or something for the 49ers, going all the way back, into the 80s.
Founder and lead guitarist Neil Schon is a longtime Niners fan.
I'm representing.
So too is his wife, Mikhail.
We are like true San Francisco people. We love the city by the bay. And love the 49ers.
In an exclusive interview, the couple revealed details about a performance that galvanized the stadium.
The energy that started to rise, and they started to sing louder and louder, and that gave me such joy.
The night before, Neil and the band decided to change some iconic lines to the hit song, Don't Stop Believin'.
The tenacity to fight for what you want, all that. That song, I think, is etched in stone across the world right now. I said, let's change the lyrics a little bit.
Instead of just a city boy born and raised in South Detroit.
I was thinking, wow, if we take out South Detroit and say San Francisco, half the crowd, I think they're going to sing so loud that you won't even hear them when singing San Francisco.
And the final chorus turned into a powerful new anthem. The fans went nuts.
After that incredible show by The Journey that fired everybody up, the Niners came out and it was a tale of two cities, a completely different game.
As for the Niners, while they didn't hear the halftime show, they heard their fans and are on a mission.
It's such a, fitting song for what happened in that game.
We're never going to stop believing. I think one thing we learned this year, this team can win.
Just support us, man. Don't stop believing. Like Journey says, yeah.
As for Neil and Mikhail, they're in the middle of a tour and can't make it to the Super Bowl, but their hearts are with their team.
And don't stop believing and take it all the way to the top.
That's it.
Just gives you chills, doesn't it? Well, still ahead, it was the golden years for this group of red and gold. How a Bay Area senior home placed wagers on their sister facility, cheering on the Chiefs. And a reminder, you can stream CBS News Bay Area wherever, whenever. Catch all of our live newscasts plus news and weather updates throughout the day. Find us on the free CBS News app or on Pluto TV.
When is it more than a game? When one moment can lift an entire city. Out of the darkness, bringing unbridled joy, changing the fabric of who we are. Now, a new generation takes the field with the opportunity to redefine us. And the chance to prove once again that sometimes this is more than a game.
Daytime highs today are sitting in the upper 50s all throughout the Bay Area, and we're going to continue to warm up as we head into this weekend's forecast, just in time for many festivities throughout the Bay, like Super Bowl parties and, of course, Chinese New Year happening in San Francisco, too. And speaking of San Francisco, we're sitting at 55 degrees as we head into this afternoon. Let me drop the map and show you what it's looking like on our satellite imagery. Dry conditions all throughout mid-portions of California, and that's us here in the Bay. We're going to be seeing sunny skies as we head into this weekend. Saturday, upper 50s. All throughout San Francisco will continue to warm up as we head into early next week, too.
A Kansas City senior living facility has a bone to pick with the Niners, and they've got a wager going for Sunday's showdown.
Hey, 49ers! We got spirit! Yes, we do! We got spirit! How about you?
I would like to hear them say what a good job their opponents did.
We knew it all along. We knew you were better than we are.
Well, their bet is a challenge with their sister facility in San Francisco. The losing team owes the winning team a video congratulating the winners on their victory. Meanwhile, here in the Bay Area, our Sean Chitna spoke with the faithful at a senior living home in Redwood City about their expectations for the game and their love for the red and gold.
Martha Campana has an edge on most members of the faithful. Not only is she a lifelong fan who's had season tickets for more than 40 years, Martha says she's been there each time the Niners became NFL champions.
I was to the 5 Super Bowls they won. I went. Didn't go to the last 2, so they didn't win. But they're going to win this one.
And while she may not be there for their next appearance in Vegas on Sunday, she sees something in this team that reminds her of the previous squads that saw success at the Super Bowl. Mary Scholes is another longtime fan who also says this team is special. While she was born in Kansas City, she became a Niner fan at the age of 12 and has stayed faithful to the Bay ever since.
They came back from it. They are fighters, but they're classy about doing it. And that's what I like.
All around their senior living community in Redwood City, you'll see plenty of decorations for the Niners. But these ladies stand out among the faithful for bringing a little more elegance to the red and gold. And while many of them were lucky enough to see one of the all-time greats in Niner history lead the Bay Area to victory, they've got a lot of love for the new quarterback and the incredible run he's had this season.
I mean, it's amazing what he's done. And the whole team, it's just right behind him and all ready to go.
They're a group of golden girls in a sea of red, and with a long history of cheering on the Niners comes the wisdom to know what sets the team apart this year.
We're looking forward to winning the Super Bowl. They're like a family, just like we are here. They're like a family.
An approach for all to live by and hopefully help the Niners win one more football game on Sunday.
And Martha tells us she plans to watch the Super Bowl in her apartment all by herself. And hopefully that's part of the strategy to recreate the luck she brought the team during its 5 Super Bowl wins.
We are ready to tackle hunger. Let's go. Silicon Valley.
And food banks are waging their own friendly competition. 3 Bay Area food banks teamed up against a food bank in Kansas City to see who could raise the most funds to tackle hunger. You can show your support by donating to Second Harvest of Silicon Valley, SF Marin Food Bank, or Alameda County Community Food Bank. Well, coming up in our next half hour on CBS News Bay Area, a huge Super Bowl event is making sure to promote acceptance and inclusivity for all sports fans. We get an inside look at the NFL fan experience in Las Vegas. And as we head into Super Bowl weekend, what better way to celebrate than with the coolest performer in town? We'll introduce you to Kool and the Gang. I'm Elizabeth Cook, and this is The Minute. We are just 2 days away from Super Bowl 58. The Niners face off against the Kansas City Chiefs at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The Niners are looking for their 6th Lombardi trophy. The Chiefs are hoping for their 2nd straight. Kickoff Sunday is 3:30. Oakland police are asking for help searching for this car. They say it was involved in a deadly shooting at 94th Avenue and A Street last month. Police say this black four-door Lexus appears to have damage on the driver's side fender. California is deploying state attorneys to Oakland to help prosecute crimes, Alameda County to be more specific. They're going to be working alongside prosecutors in DA Pamela Price's office. This comes just days after the state announced it's sending 120 CHP officers to Oakland. The Bay Area's only primetime newscast at 8 and 9 p.m. on the all-new Kix Plus 44 Cable 12.
Home of Super Bowl 58 between the 49ers and the Chiefs. This is KPIX CBS News Bay Area.
Heading into our weekend forecast, we are drying up here in the Bay Area as high pressure builds its way in from offshore. We have been dealing with such a hectic weather work week for us. And finally, we're getting that much needed relief with clear skies and dry conditions and temperatures warming up too as we head into our weekend forecast all throughout the Bay Area. The storms are tracking to the north of us and to the south, but here in the Bay, we're celebrating this weekend with a lot of festivities. Starting off with tomorrow, upper 50s in the forecast, just in time for the Chinese New Year festival happening here in San Francisco at Chinatown. And to add to that, we also have Super Bowl Sunday around the corner. Not only in Las Vegas are they going to be dealing with plenty of sunshine as we take on the Chiefs and definitely take home that trophy, but we're going to be feeling that sunshine here in the Bay too. Now, once we head into mid and late next week, that's when the chances of showers return into the forecast for us, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's also talk more about what's happening for us today. It's Friday. We made it to the weekend, and oh my gosh, it was a wild week. We saw one of the strongest storms impact us here in the Bay Area that we've seen in over a decade. That brought in about 102 mile per hour wind gust up in Marin. It brought us all of that damaging wind and rain, and now we're starting to see those drying conditions into this weekend. So just keep that in mind. This weekend is a beautiful opportunity to maybe do some community service, get out there and get some fresh air, do a local hike, and all the way into next week, oh man, we're going to hold on tight to those dry conditions until around Wednesday, Thursday, where scattered showers become a little bit more apparent for us, not only in our inland forecast, but for our friends along the bay too. And notice the temperatures as well. We're sitting in the 50s now. We're going to hold on tight to the 60s heading into next week with beautiful conditions to kick off the work week.
The Bay Area is hoping for a Super Bowl celebration come Sunday and preparing for the potential problems that may come with it. Today, San Francisco Mayor London Breed urged everyone to enjoy the game safely.
We love to celebrate, and we love to have a good time. So I want you to celebrate. I want you to have a good time. I want us to be excited and the loves and the hugs and everything, but I also want our city to be safe. Because after Super Bowl is over, we still got to walk these streets.
Now, we all know by now that Super Bowl 58 will be played at Allegiant Stadium, but that's not the only focal point in Vegas. Nearby at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, it's one of the biggest and most popular events during the Super Bowl, the NFL Fan Experience. And fans from all over come here to play interactive games, participate in sports events, and maybe even get a glimpse of their favorite player. There's something for everyone, including for those who can find events like this a bit overwhelming. Our Gianfranco has details on the venue creating acceptance and inclusion for all during the Super Bowl.
This is a place to bring your family. You can bring kids of all ages. Adults act like kids too. And there's lots of events that you can participate in and interactive stuff. But see all the lights and a little bit of the flashiness. It gets really loud later on. The NFL really wanted to make sure that every person who walked in here felt safe, especially if they had sensory sensitivity.
Thomas and Alex are from San Jose and are season ticket holders at Levi's Stadium. They're looking forward to a few fun-filled days in Las Vegas and appreciate that there's an event that includes all ages.
Yeah, thus far this is great. It's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff for the family, a lot of stuff for the kids. I think that's really exciting, so especially in a city like Las Vegas.
And as fun as it is, the NFL experience can also be a little loud and noisy at times with lots of bright lights. And for some children and adults, that can be overwhelming. That's where Culture Center comes in.
and our goal is to support those with sensory needs or those who identify as neurodivergent.
They also have support animals around to offer a little extra comfort. This year, the NFL also blocked off a few hours to allow those to enjoy the experience without being triggered or uncomfortable with the loud noises.
So for the entirety of the Super Bowl experience, Culture City's on site with our sensory bags, our sensory room right behind me.
For Thomas and Alex, a Super Bowl trip is certainly once in a lifetime.
Are you guys going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Wow. Dad, how'd you hook that up?
Second mortgage. We're here, and we're just here to have a great time and build memories.
What are you going to tell your friends on Monday when you're rolling in just fresh from the Super Bowl?
I'll tell them that we win.
Yes, we are going to win, Alex. You are absolutely right. And if they got an extra ticket, I'm just throwing it out there. Here, look at this is the sensory bag. I just want to show you what's inside. These are all the tools that maybe you or a loved one, or if you're bringing a kid who might feel a little uncomfortable with all the noise and all the people, you can, open these up and put them on your head. They've got fidget spinners in here too, and things you can do when you're waiting in these long lines, because, with all these events that are happening here, there is a lot going on, and there will be a lot of people hanging out here.
And while the Niners and the Chiefs are getting ready for the Super Bowl, so are the A-list musicians for the pregame and halftime entertainment. Oh yeah, halftime show headliner Usher hinted that he'll have some surprise guests. The 8-time Grammy Award winner appeared as a special guest with the Black Eyed Peas during the Super Bowl in 2011. He said that's when he started dreaming of being the headliner himself. Usher just recently completed his residency in Vegas.
Las Vegas has been amazing for me. Having 100 sold out shows at a residency, and to have the next one be the crescendo, which is the Super Bowl with Apple, has really, really, really given my time here in Las Vegas an incredible button at the end.
Other performances include Post Malone, who will sing America the Beautiful. Andra Day will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, and country music legend Reba McEntire will perform the national anthem. And of course, on any given night in Vegas, there's a party going on, right? It's a celebration, and what better way to celebrate the moment than to meet up with the coolest performer in town? Juliette Goodrich introduces us to Cool with Kool and the Gang.
Timeless hits performed on the Westgate stage in Las Vegas, the very same stage Elvis Presley first performed on.
Do I call you Cool?
That's what they call me.
Cool with a K, that is.
I would be on this side of the stage, and I would come up a ramp and come down this side.
Robert Kool Bell, founding member of the legendary Kool and the Gang, took time to celebrate with us.
You can tell when there's that energy in the theater, right?
Oh, yeah. They get up from the first record. From the first song. We got 10 people in the band, and I call it the Magnificent 10, because when we started, it was the Magnificent 7. 6 of my guys passed. My drummer just passed about a month ago. So I'm kind of like the last man standing as far as the original band.
Born in Ohio, grew up in Jersey City. The band started in 1964, but under a different name, Kool and the Flame.
James Brown had James Brown and the Famous Flames. So we didn't want to have any problem with the Godfather. So we said, well, what should we call ourselves? So Gene Red at that time, the manager said, what about Kool and the Gang? I said, what about Kool and the Gang? I think that'll work.
He told us how he took his lady out one night and a song was born. You know, Ladies' Night.
My wife and I was hanging out in New York at Studio 54 in Regene's when J.T. Taylor joined the group. So I came back. I said, I got a perfect song for J.T. They said, what? I said, Ladies' Night. And then my brother said, wow, there's a Ladies' Night all over the world. So Ladies' Night is one of the favorites, too.
Before each performance, Kool says he takes a power nap, and then he is ready to go. His advice to the Niners? Well, they got to get down on it.
They got to get down on it and pick up that ball and go ahead and make that touchdown.
A stroll through the casino and everyone stops to say hi to Cool.
Okay.
We're from the 70s in Amsterdam.
And of course, I had to ask.
All right, cool. So when the Niners win the Super Bowl, what's your song?
It's going to be celebration, because it will be a celebration. And
There's a party going on right here.
A celebration that lasts throughout all the years.
So bring your good times.
And your laughter too. And don't forget, I got my champagne. You need to drink some too.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And a reminder, we are your home for Super Bowl 58. You can catch the game starting at 3:30 this Sunday on KPIX and streaming on Paramount+. Up next, just how did an amusement park ride help land the 49ers in Santa Clara? That answer coming up.
By the time we were done, it was a done deal. Was he impressed, the commissioner? I think he was blown away.
Super Bowl 58. Fate can no longer wait. For the Niners, not a second too late. See, this is a predictory of our collective victory, reclaiming San Francisco's golden history. Because we're not just playing for survival. This is an SF revival. See, even when it gets dark, we always find a way to a fresh start. Because every Niner touchdown is a major come-up for the city. And no, we're not just playing pretty. See, perseverance built the Bay. And it's the faithful who lead the way. Because if our bridges are golden, then our hearts are too. Timeless landmarks and a team fighting for you, a city lighting for you. See, we're not just playing for survival. This is an SF revival.
We are staying dry as we head into the Super Bowl weekend. Plenty of things to do out here in the Bay, whether it's Chinese New Year in San Francisco or doing some barbecuing, of course, just in time for Super Bowl Sunday. We'll stay dry until late next week. And as I drop this and show you what it's looking like for us this afternoon, well, we're starting to see warmer temperatures here in the Bay Area. Upper 50s today, low 60s in the forecast tomorrow, and we'll continue to warm up into the mid 60s heading into next work week.
The lore of 49ers history is rooted in San Francisco, but there's a pretty fascinating story about how the team got to the South Bay. As Julia Goodrich reports, it's a thrill ride of sorts.
Devin, here's a little piece of trivia. The Niners have now been at Levi Stadium for almost 10 years, and the deal to bring the team to Santa Clara was done at the Great America Amusement Park on a ride. As Len Ramirez reports, before there was a groundbreaking, there was a ride in the sky.
Former Santa Clara Vice Mayor Kevin Moore says there might never have been a Levi Stadium if not for that Blue Tower amusement ride that stands head and shoulders above California's Great America.
It's not a thrill ride, but that day it was a thrill ride.
Moore is talking about the day back in 2007 when Santa Clara hatched a plan to snag the 49ers. It was just after talks to build a new stadium in San Francisco fell through when the team and city officials lured the NFL's Roger Goodell to take a look at Santa Clara. But the commissioner had only a sliver of time to spend on the ground, and some Santa Clara people wanted to show him everything.
We've got about 45 minutes. We're going to show him Intel and Great America. We're going to show him Santa Clara University, Stanford. And I said, you can't do it. He goes, what do you mean? You can't go to 20 places in 45 minutes during the rush hour. And so he goes, well, what do we do? What place should we go? I said, let's see if we can get in the amusement park.
It sounded odd, but Moore's plan was to take Goodell and other NFL officials on a one-stop shop to the theme park's Star Tower ride. It's a slowly rising and rotating observation deck that gently elevates riders 200 feet above the park. And once on top, you get 360-degree views of Santa Clara and Silicon Valley.
My job was to convince them to go into an amusement park, and that was crazy. Why are we going to go to the amusement park? I said, because you're going to have the best view of the valley. And I knew once we got him in there, Mayor Patty Mahan was going to close the deal.
Mayor Mahan, who died of cancer in 2023, showed Goodell the lay of the land, the tech companies who would buy luxury suites, and the infrastructure past city leaders laid down to make it a viable stadium site, including light rail and wide sweeping boulevards.
The 101 freeway, we have the 237 freeway here, and by the time that we were done, pretty much a done deal. Was he impressed, the commissioner? I think he was blown away. I mean, yeah, I looked at that point and go, we're getting the 49ers down here in Santa Clara. Patty had just knocked it out of the park.
Voters approved a stadium measure in 2010. The stadium opened in 2014, and 2 years later, it hosted Super Bowl 50.
We worked on this for so many years. It's a dream come true to see that stadium out there.
Moore, considered the godfather of the stadium effort, was once told by a former city manager that Santa Clara had a 1 in a billion chance of getting the 49ers. But after the meeting in the amusement park, Moore said the odds had at least improved to even money.
And you can watch Super Bowl 58 from the comfort of your home on CBS News Bay Area and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Coming up, we continue our countdown to kickoff.
I'm a little conflicted.
Super fans of this pop star are at odds with their Niners faith. We talked to some of them about their Super Bowl struggle.
Daytime highs today are sitting in the upper 50s all throughout the Bay Area, and we're going to continue to warm up as we head into this weekend's forecast, just in time for many festivities throughout the Bay, like Super Bowl parties and, of course, Chinese New Year happening in San Francisco, too. And speaking of San Francisco, we're sitting at 55 degrees as we head into this afternoon. Let me drop the map and show you what it's looking like on our satellite imagery. Dry conditions all throughout mid portions of California, and that's us here in the Bay. We're going to be seeing sunny skies as we head into this weekend. Saturday, upper 50s all throughout San Francisco. Will continue to warm up as we head into early next week, too.
Las Vegas is buzzing with excitement leading up to the Super Bowl, but for some Niners fans, there's some conflicting emotions about the game. Julia Goodrich and Kelsey Thorud have that story from Vegas.
And you've got kind of the tale of two stories. It's not like which team you're going to root for. It's which team and then which celebrity, right? It's kind of a house divided in some cases.
Oh, yeah. You know, we've been talking to people all week, and this is not a two-team Super Bowl. It's a three-team Super Bowl.
There you go.
There's the Niners, the Chiefs, and Taylor Swift Nation. Yes. So, yeah, it's funny because, you know, we all know Taylor Swift is rooting for the Chiefs because that's where her boyfriend is. But a lot of Niners fans are also huge Taylor Swift fans. So I went out and caught up with a couple of them to ask them about how they're feeling for this Super Bowl.
This year's Super Bowl may be the Niners versus the Chiefs, but for certain Niners fans, it's also the Niners versus Taylor Swift, making for some complicated emotions for Niners diehards who are also Swifties.
I'm a little conflicted, and my family keeps, they keep making fun of me.
Swift, of course, will be rooting for her Kansas City Chiefs boyfriend, Travis Kelce, on Sunday. That's a bitter pill for Niners Swifties to swallow, but one they're trying to make the best of.
Taylor Swift is kind of in her own little world, in my opinion, and then she just happens to be dating a Chiefs player. So, two different worlds, Taylor Swift, football, so all Niners. Taylor Swift will just be on the TV, it's fine.
When it comes to whose allegiance rises to the top, it's no question for Niners Swifties out here, the Niners take the cake.
I enjoy her music, you know, she's good, but Niners all the way. I mean, I hope she, she cries, That's about it.
She can cry all day. I am okay with that. I just need my Niners to get that ring again. Quest for 6.
Still, some hope that when the Niners take home that Super Bowl ring on Sunday, Taylor herself may still go home with one too.
He's still gonna propose to her. It's okay.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm one of those.
Do it.
And, that may sound a little crazy, but there's actually a lot of people that think Taylor could go away with the ring this weekend.
Yes.
So, I myself have to admit I am a Swiftie too.
Okay.
I don't know about you, Jules, but I feel like you should be if you're not.
Well, yes. Okay, I'm joining that bandwagon.
Yeah, but people are excited, and Niners fans, they're putting that above their Taylor Swift fandom right now. They're ready for the 6th Super Bowl.
There's a lot going into this game. Let me tell you, there's a lot. All right, Kelsey, thank you for that.
Of course.
Well, KPIX is your home for all things Super Bowl 58. We have multiple reporters on the ground in Vegas, including our morning team. Julia Goodrich and our sports team, Vern Glenn and Matt Lively. Live reports continue this evening at 5 p.m. Well, thanks so much for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Elizabeth Cook. We'll be right back with your First Alert forecast and a look at your top stories. I'm Elizabeth Cook, and this is The Minute. We are just 2 days away from Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. The Niners are hoping to capture their 6th Lombardi trophy, facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs. An army of 49er faithful is flooding into Vegas. Our crews spotted many fans sporting their red and gold. And a man from Miami is in custody after this small plane nosedived onto a beach in Half Moon Bay. Sheriffs say he stole that plane from the Palo Alto airport yesterday. The NTSB and Sheriff's Office are investigating how he was able to pull that off. And one person is injured after a Muni bus crashed in Daly City. The driver got off the bus to inspect a door, and within seconds, the bus started moving on its own. It happened right at the city limits at Mission and Flurney. The bus crashed into a sidewalk and flattened some signs.